Hello.
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 And welcome.
And welcome.
And welcome
And welcome to
Backseat Genius.
to Backseat Genius.
The Backseat Genius.
the Backseat Genius.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the 7th episode of the Clubhouse. Yeah, with a couple of familiar faces and one. You were on one video, Abe, and so we'll go down in order. We got John, as you know, Jonathan, Kuros. Then we have Abe right here, one of the owners of the store that we're at, and we'll shout him out in a second. And then we have Justin back here. But yeah, we're shooting this out of Supernova Toys and Collectibles, per usual. Here in Bridgeview, Illinois. If you're ever in the area, please stop by. Open Wednesday through Sunday. Come through, say what's up. If you need anything from TCG, like trading cards, to collectibles, Funkos, whatever it is, we got you. They got you. I don't own this place, but yeah. So on this seventh episode of the Clubhouse, we really want to go over why the dating pool is so tough here in 2025.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
you're looking for someone who's just good-looking, funny.
This is a reality TV show.
Right. You need somebody who's tall. You need someone who makes so much money, who's rich.
Justin, I think you're out of this pool at
who
this
doesn't play Lorcana, and how are you gonna find that? There's just so many standards out there right now. You're asking so much, but was that not the topic for this one?
I don't think it was.
I'm right here, baby.
Okay. They're right here.
He's like, shout me out
hey, if
on
you
the
need it.
other
Oh, yeah, I didn't even shout myself out, but I'm John, SBJ. You can call me whatever you like. But the real topic we have a few. So we're going to go over one. We've had a couple weekends of set champs thus far. We're going to go over how we've been doing in that. Maybe a little bit of how the meta looks and what we think of that. And then second, probably most importantly, obviously we've had the release of a different card type and mechanic in Vanish, and then the dual inks. And then lastly, we're in the off season where we're not really sure, we don't have announcements for anything right now as far as champs or other DLC, so we're kind of going to go over what the off season is like, what we can be doing to keep ourselves occupied, and how you still stay strong in the game of Lorcana or get better during this time period. But yeah, so we can get right into it. The first topic, going over set champs. So, first of all, let's go down the line. We'll start with you, John. How many set champs so far have you been to, and what does it look like for you so far? How many scars have you gotten? Mats, how are we doing?
So I've only been to one set champs.
Oh no, here we go.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm a working
The
man.
1-1. I feel that.
I'm a working man, but I did only go to one set champs. I did get one scar.
What a G. Everyone.
I know.
Come on.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
Small hands.
Small hands.
Yep.
I didn't work hard for it. No, all jokes aside, I played Amber Steel, but I played it with songs. So I played the classic Steel song. I guess fortunately for me, thankfully, my matchups within that one set champs that I played literally only favorable matchups.
Well,
so
nice.
my round one was I believe it was green purple, pretty favorable, and then my second round was hyper aggro, very favorable. Then I played against Santi, who was playing red blue. Got to a game 3. Definitely misplayed that game, but that's besides the point. But it was a very hard matchup in general. I believe round 4 I played against a purple steel, which I feel like is extremely favored still.
Absolutely.
Even if they're playing Pete's, I just flooded the board just because the deck is so low curve. And then I honestly and I drew my round 5.
Okay.
I know, the dreaded drawing, the drawing.
The draw.
And then I lost in top 8 to this bozo over here.
Oh, man.
But, it is what it is. But
Better Amber Steel. I'm kidding.
Wait, and if you're not mistaken, this was at the Supernova.
This was
set
at
champ.
our Supernova
Yeah,
Toys and Collectibles
the
set
best
champ.
What were we
Champs
fighting
is
for? What were we fighting
We
for?
were fighting for this belt.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Did you
that's
just knock
fine.
over my scar?
No,
This
no.
isn't your scar, Abe.
Yeah. I didn't get the belt. Unfortunately, lost in top 8, but it is what it is.
Yeah, our boy Santi.
But thankfully, I just wanted one scar, thankfully, because I've just been so busy as of lately. So, I've also won 1 out of 1. Maybe,
One for one.
maybe the last week I can probably play another one. I
Hey,
hope
that's
to God.
impressive.
Yeah.
That's about 100%.
It is 100%. What do you mean?
Abe, you're next up. Are you about 100% like John, or how's yours been going?
So we hosted obviously our set champs here at Supernova Toys. Had a really nice outcome, and I did play.
That was the one we only gave out 3 scars because you kept one.
Come on, man.
Was it 7 scars? 7 scars. Sorry.
Don't do that.
Don't check TCG player.
But yeah, we hosted here. We had a really good time. We had, I think, 25 players. Really good tournaments. I didn't play. I was host, so that was awesome. Last weekend, I did get out to a different local. I think it was Pastimes.
In Niles?
Pastimes. Another
Great
shop out
shop.
here. So we played there. I, myself, Justin, we rode out there. It's about 40-minute drive. So I got to.
From
Have
us,
a nice little car ride with Justin.
Yeah.
But yeah, it went pretty well. So I was third. I got third place there. So we got ourselves a
Hell yeah.
car. I lost to Dewey, our teammate here, playing blue green.
What a G.
Been to my will.
Oh, so that's why you switched.
I got my wheel bent.
Beat him so bad he switched.
Yeah, I got my wheel bent twice.
Oh, my
Whoa.
That sounds a little.
For like 8 cards.
Oh,
the whole time.
God.
So it was a lot of
Oh
fun.
yeah,
That's rough.
And,
That's rough.
he sees it every time.
He does.
No,
he does.
yeah, never misses.
Never misses Clarabelle into my will.
Right.
So good for him though. Good for
He's
him.
like,
He
well,
ended
I'm drawing cards. Of course, I'm going to see it. You play 2. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how many times the card I needed was like bottom 5 cards, but no, you see it every
Listen,
time.
Dewey ended up first place with the champ match, so I'm happy for
Obviously,
him.
yeah,
If I
of
lose to-
course.
if I lose to a
Congrats.
it's all
Well,
good.
clap,
to
clap,
Dewey,
clap,
It's
clap.
all good.
BSG rep.
So yeah, I'll take third place. I played Ruby Amethyst. I've been playing that for the last couple months or so. I really like that deck a lot. Yeah, it was a lot of fun though. We got
Is that a 1-for-1 too?
1 for 1.
Hell yeah.
1 for 1. Yeah. So
Oh,
hopefully-
another 100%er right here.
Hopefully next weekend we
Couldn't
get
be
into
me.
a couple other set champs next week. But yeah, 1 for 1.
All right, Justin, how are we doing out here in the set champ streets?
Damn, I feel like I don't work at all now. Like now that
He's like,
Damn,
I've been
I'm
to
like,
14 so far.
I've been to NRG. I've been to Supernova, obviously. And I've been to Pastimes. I think it's yeah,
How many stars?
3.
Oh,
Three.
3 for 3. That's
I mean, it's only
that's like a little higher of a. 100%.
I mean, it's like top 8 at NRG. I gave the blurple.
Oh no!
I forgot about this one.
you gotta cut
Hey,
this
we're
clip.
gonna-
This
Right
guy.
here, what happened?
This guy.
I got it. It's all good now.
Just know that he likes to give games away for free.
Zero the
So
hero.
next time that you
Zero
You're
play
the hero,
welcome.
That's the
Ask
guy.
him.
Zero the hero.
Blurple.
You're welcome.
Just what I'm saying, next time you play him, ask for the game. Trust me, he will give it to you.
Just start the game by asking for it.
Yeah.
So I got
honestly.
top 8 on that one, Energy. Top 4 in Supernova. Lost to Santi on the draw. If I won the dice roll, I mean, there was no die roll. There was seeding.
It was seeding, bro. Relax.
And then
Don't blame the dollar
and
on
then
this
pastimes was yeah. I got 2-0'd by Amber Emerald discard. You know the OG.
one.
He was up there.
I was playing Amber Steel Song. So I played 3 different Amber Steel variants in
This
those
guy.
3 that I won. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It was Diggy Diggy and then No Mine and then the Whole New World.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I got from that, so NRG, you gave the win. And then at Supernova, you were on the draw, but you would have won if you were on the play. I don't think I've ever heard another Lorcana player say that ever.
True.
And then the third one at Pastimes was
places is
and
Top
yeah,
4.
that's
Top
what
4.
I got from that. So can I ask? I want to ask. I mean, personally, I don't really want to go over how I've been doing.
Well, how about
because,
you let us know anyways?
I've been to. We'll say I've been to one mentally, and I won that one. That one I got a scar. But now the first.
Hey, let us know what happened here at
the
Supernova,
first-
man. Let us know.
Wait, what?
Oh my
Let us know what
goodness,
happened,
that
man.
was horrible. The worst draws I think I've ever had in my life. At
I've never
Supernova.
heard that one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
No, never.
Continental qualified Johnny over here.
Oh, thank you, thank you for.
Can't even
Apparently,
get a scar,
that's
bro.
the only thing. Hey, I'll take an invited to the ball over a scar any day of the week. So,
Can't win a local, but could
anyway,
definitely make it.
that's enough about me. We'll go ahead and move on to. I do have a scar though. That is my scar. That's now a PSA 7.
6 now.
What
What
I-
I talked about it.
What I do want to go over, though, is at least for me personally, what I've been noticing is, my goodness, there's a lot of aggro people. Like, whether
Oh
it's
my God.
aggro Amber Steel or Emerald Amethyst, I've been playing that so much. I've really been enjoying the Ruby Sapphire that kind of Santi has cooked up, and he was doing so well. So I'm like, you know what? Let me play. I've been testing it a lot, and it was going well. But with this pool that I've been playing, dude, I've been playing so much aggro, and we have a Ruby Amethyst. We have you're playing, like, you're mixing up your Amber Steel, but it's usually on the kind of aggro-ish side. And
definitely
you've
on the
been
aggro
playing
side,
Steel.
for sure.
You played the Steel song
Just
was the
Steel
one time
song.
you played,
Steel song,
which
yeah.
I think is a good meta call. What if, from the set champs that you've been to, you've only been to 1 each, but you've been to 3. What do you feel like you're seeing a lot of? Because that's what I'm seeing.
I mean, I guess it kind of varies because, like, we are in Chicago. So going into set champs in general in Chicago, you should have the mindset that you're going to play against 4 red-blue players. And then one of them,
It's so
one
crazy
of them
'cause
is
it's
in
so true.
the top 1% of the game. You know what I'm saying? Most of them are, like, one of the best red-blue players, honestly. Like, I'm not glazing Chicago, but that's just facts. Those are numbers.
Yeah, and apparently green-blue now you'll be playing with.
I'm gonna need you to
Green-blue
stop right now
that's
before.
true. But I
need
have
you to
played a
stop.
lot of I played a lot of purple in general. That's why my meta
Purple?
call
Sure.
is Amber Steel, because, like, we do see less red blue now because of, like, maybe a lot of people just got sick of it, because we've been red blue for like 6 sets, and I feel like finally someone's off of it. You know, that's what it feels like for me.
Sure.
But it's just definitely been a lot of blurple. Actually, there's a lot of blurple. Probably the second probably the second most represented probably is blurple. The first one's probably Amber Steel. There's
As of
just
right now,
different like variants of Amber
Variants
Steel
for sure.
But purple decks for sure, and then blue green is on the up and coming.
Here in Chicago specifically.
Yeah.
Specifically.
Yeah.
So do you guys agree? I mean, so you were only at Supernova. At Supernova, there was a lot of
Oh
like
my
Amber Steel
God.
aggro,
It was-
which is good for you.
It was great, but I would say it was just a lot of off-meta picks over here at Supernova. And I'm not saying that our pool of people that were playing were not high caliber. It was just more so that was the call that they were going with, because they're so accustomed to Chicago playing only red-blue. So I would say that they said, screw it, we're going to bring any type of aggro deck because we expect red-blue players to be there. So I kind of went on the complete opposite end and said, I'm just going to play Amber Steel songs. I want to take people on a magical carpet ride and call it a day.
And you did that.
I did.
And you did that. And
I
Abe,
did.
at pastimes, being the Ruby Amethyst player, what a lot of people call like the most consistent deck. What did you feel like you were running into a lot, and was there anything in particular that was making you kind of sweat a little more?
I did play against 2 aggro decks. One lemon lime aggro, and the other was I believe Amber Steel aggro. And then the other match I remember being red blue as well. So it was a good spread of matches. But yeah, it seemed like a lot of aggro was out there. Just watching matches beside me too. So you're definitely right. It was just very heavy on the aggro this set champs. I feel like that is for sure.
Sure. I mean, we've also gone through an entire season of DLCs and sweatiness, and a lot of times playing the aggro deck, like making that decision, I think takes a lot of the thinking out. In a lot of cases, obviously, you know, no matter what deck you're playing, there's decisions to be made, and there's ways to play it right and wrong. But I do think it's a little less stressful. In particular, like one of our teammates, Josh, you know, he transitioned to playing Blurple for the set champs because he was talking about like how just burnt out from Red Blue he's been from testing and everything for DLC. So I see that too. I can see that being the case.
I mean, let's be fair too. That's the only deck he plays too.
That was
Red
like
Blue
the
is
only,
literally the only deck he plays.
and straight like figuring out what the best thing was. So it's understandable. I can see that. I'm somebody who switches it up a lot. Justin,
So am I.
You really like, you know, you've played other color combinations, but you kind of stick with Amber Steel. But
You're
even
tried
with
and true.
that, you're testing a lot of different things. So even though you're still playing like the same colors, you're kind of mixing it up, and like so it could still feel fresh for you.
Abe, you kind of mix it up too with figuring out what you want to do. You've been playing Ruby Amethyst lately, but you know you've kind of gone through your span of figuring out what you want to play. And then same thing, Jonathan. You're kind of like a bunch of stuff. You're on Steel Song now, but you were playing Green Steel. You
I
were
was
playing Ruby
playing.
Amethyst
Yeah,
for
I
a while.
was. I was.
So yeah, I could definitely see it for the people who are really going hard at DLC and you're playing one deck the whole season, like wanting to take a break and play something that's a little more I mean, I think I say this a lot, but a little more brain dead. It's just what it is. And you could admit it. I like playing aggro sometimes. Sometimes I like doing it.
Or just different. Like I feel like set
That's
champs is
a
a good
nicer
time
way
to
to put it.
just play different things. Like maybe
Absolutely.
you're a diehard red blue player and that's all you play in DLCs. Like
Sure.
set champs is a good time to test your skills with other decks, right? Because it's like
Absolutely.
the stakes are not as high, and you can play something you're not as comfortable playing.
And then maybe you find something that you enjoy out of set champs too.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
like you'd never played before, you just said screw it, I want to test something out different, and be like, you know what, I kind of like where this is going, I'm gonna go further with it.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on to what I think a lot of people want to hear, and just what a lot of people are talking about are
nonstop.
the new card type and the new mechanic. So I think the new card type might lead into a longer discussion. Let's talk real quick about the new mechanic that they've introduced, which is Vanish, which I don't know the exact wording of it, but it's something along the lines of if this card is targeted by an action, then banish it.
If this chosen
Right?
card, if this chosen card was chosen by an
If this card was
action,
chosen or targeted, whatever it is, by an action.
banish this character.
Banish it. That's what it is. And so far, have we only seen the one? Is it Diago? That's
I
it?
believe it's only been Iago.
And his stats are so crazy. So,
I've got the card. You want me to just?
yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
So Iago's a 4/6 quest for 1, but the Vanish text reads: when an opponent for cost inkable, when an opponent chooses this character for an action, banish them.
Okay, so going over that, what I want to kind of focus on and get your guys' opinions about this Vanish thing is, because personally, in my opinion, so we only have one card to go off of, so this could be completely off and just full on, like, poor speculation.
But to me, it's like 4-drop inkable 5/5 or what was it?
4/6. 4/6.
Crazy, right? It's insane. And so what a lot of people are saying is like, well, Vanish then, because my thought was like, what's the purpose of Vanish? Like that seems like horrible. Like why would you want a card with a mechanic like that? It's like, oh, it's a way to offset like the overpowered stats. To me personally, I prefer a card to be built more with just a straight balance,
As opposed to, there might be a word for this, but there might not be, but like, you've built out a part of the card that's so far on this end of the spectrum, and the way to balance it out is to put something so far on the other end of the spectrum that it naturally just balances, where I'd rather kind of just have something in the middle that's balanced just inherently, as opposed to being like, oh, well, this is really strong, let's create a mechanic that just like automatically banishes your character if it's chosen. I'm not a huge fan of that, personally, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong. I didn't really like the idea of locations before they came out. Now I don't think they're bad. So what are your guys' opinions on that?
Can I take
Justin?
this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
I actually think that Vanish, just in general, is probably like a really strong thing for that one character. So like, I know like it banishes the character right away once you've chosen it. The thing is like you have to spend that resource to choose a character with as strong as Iago. Like, let's just say that it's just Iago who's ever like a Vanish character. You as Amber Steel player, you have to spend your song, Strength of the Raging Fire, your Storm on Iago instead of like the Chernobog's followers, the Flynn Rider, the Sisu, the human Sisu. The fact that you have to like, what I said when the card came out is like, it's like a bodyguard but for actions. So it's kind of like a magnet for actions where like you have to spend that on that character, which means you're either turning a character sideways just to, I guess, banish a character, and or tap your inkwell to actually like banish a character that's like overstated and inkable. But I think Vanish in general is a good way to make I guess like overstated cards. For me, I think it's healthy because it's like an interactive card where like I have like bodyguard. You know, it's not something like I know it has 6 is it willpower? Is it called willpower? But just the fact that you can just storm it is pretty good too. But the fact also that you have to burn your storm on it.
Well,
it's
yeah,
also
but that
like
makes
pretty
Storm
bad.
severely more powerful, I think. Where in
But
the
then,
past,
like, you're
you
using it
can't
on
kill
that
that. You
card
just deal 2
versus-
to it, and it sits there. But now with this Vanish effect, it's just gone. Doesn't matter how it could have a 456.
I mean, you could have gotten rid of
willpower.
a more important character.
Well, let's keep in mind too, Iago is also evasive.
Right.
Fantastic.
It makes sense though. You should. After a while, it starts to hurt, right? Most people don't like to deal with evasives in general, right?
No, sure. No, I get what you're saying. But we'll go down the line. Abe, what is your idea on Vanish and how that mechanic works?
So I'm more curious to see whether there may be a benefit to Vanish that we don't know yet, right? Like, maybe there's a location that says every time your card is vanished.
That's what Jafar does.
Oh, is that what he does?
Yeah, he says
Well,
something
not
about
vanish, but like
he adds an illusion because Iago is an illusion.
Card.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, his benefit's illusion. Yeah, like whenever one of your
Hey,
illusion
go ahead and throw
characters-
there's a clip of Robert Pattinson in the movie called the devil all the time, and he just goes illusion. You need to throw that.
Oh, so Jafar's text says during your opponent's turn, whenever one of your illusion characters is banished, yeah, you may return that card to your hand. So I guess that's kind of a benefit, right? It doesn't sound great. I mean, he's a 2/4. The Jafar.
Unless it's a 3-drop, bro.
Yeah, maybe like I said, like there's more cards that we haven't seen that say that there are more benefits to vanish than we can see so far, right? Maybe there is something that says every time that your character is vanished, you can gain a lure or you can gain support or something that where it's just a benefit to it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Sure.
Seeing like what kind of benefits come out of Vanish. 'Cause I'm pretty sure
That's what I'm
playing
thinking,
Vanish,
too.
there has to be some benefits.
There's got to be something, because it would feel weird that you literally like it's like somebody accidentally printed the card, and instead of like just deleting the card, they were just like, I don't want to go through all this work. Just throw it vanish and make it that as long as it's targeted by something, it just dies.
Yeah,
'cause
there's
it's
so
too
much.
strong, dude.
There's so many targeting.
gotta be something.
There's so many spells that target. It feels like it's bad. Like it feels like
Right.
Vanish right now.
What I'm saying, all right, well, let's get John. I want to get John's idea, and we can like kind of expand. Because anyway, what do you think?
So Vanish reminds me so much of a card that we have in Yu-Gi-Oh! And the reason why I say this is because I think it's only one card that specifically has this actual effect of if this card is targeted, or if, for example, Vanish chosen, which was Spirit Reaper. Okay. Now the problem in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is vastly different, obviously, compared to Lorcana, and I can't obviously compare 2 and 2 together. But the reason why I compare it to this card is because it has the exact same card text. If it's targeted by something, immediately remove the card. Okay? But it had a huge benefit. It can't be destroyed by battle.
Right.
And if it attacked you directly, or if it did damage to you in general, you get to discard a random card out of your opponent's hand. Okay? So if you put that in perspective with how Iago is worded, one, it's a 4/6, right? It's a 4 cost, right? 4 cost inkable. So the way I'm imagining it is maybe kind of like how what Blurple's trying to do with your 1/2 to ramp to 4, and instead of playing Genie on 4 to get that draw, maybe instead you play a 4/6 on your third curve, so that way you have a massive body that can consistently keep challenging, which your opponent can't deal with because it has evasive. Okay, so the way I see it is, I feel like Vanish is a very much a healthy thing for the game. I feel like, and also it can benefit so many ways. You can make extremely strong effects alongside, as long as the card has Vanish, kind of just to give it that nice balance. Because 4/6, I'm gonna be honest, it's pretty dang strong as a 4 cost for a 4 drop. Inkable as well, and it costs for 1 and
You have like a
evasive,
4-drop uninkable. What is it, Scrooge? That quests for 2.
and it's a
And
5/5.
it's a 5/5, so if you made that a 4/6, that quests for 1, like, understandably you could do that, but...
It's balanced, but I also feel like the 4 attack is just so relevant. It knocks out, it banishes so many characters.
6 willpower.
And six willpower is super strong because you can keep just challenging and challenging and challenging with it, and your opponent can't attack it unless it's evasive.
I was gonna say you can't brawl it, but I guess if you brawl it, it vanishes.
No,
Well, yeah. Well, there's
because it has to have 2 strength or less.
correct.
Oh,
So
It's not a
So there's also, that's the other thing too, so many actions that we currently have in the game as well that focus on characters really do depend on willpower or strength base effects, right? The only ones that I can personally think of that can really nullify Iago's effect is like Paint the Roses Red, which says -1 attack. It's not an action, that's an item. Only specifically actions we're talking about. So cards like that kind of give the minusing and plussing of effects on an action could be kind of relevant now, considering that Vanish is coming into the game. But you wouldn't want to play
so
those
maybe
cards in
that's
the
the
deck.
thing, is maybe they've built up, because there are a lot of cards out there right now that are like when you play this character, I think there's a scar out there actually, or someone when you play this character, give chosen character -3 like strength or something.
Right.
So like it makes cards like that more valuable. Whereas right now, I don't think
that's a
there's any
character.
room for. Oh, because that's actually.
Like, see now, look now, see look how you're looking at it.
My big point is like, but why? But why? So again, my big point is like, why build this thing up to be so strong that you got to create a mechanic that that is a hindrance to it? Why not just make a character that's just straight balanced in the middle? Like I don't know for sure. I don't know. Obviously, there's like 30,000 plus unique Magic cards or whatever. So I'm not sure how their entire card pool, right? But as far as what I imagine is that it's not. They just added text. The variance is like how much it costs to play the spell and what the spell does, and that's where all the variance comes in, like what colors they're in, how it interacts with other maybe archetypes or just how it interacts with other decks. Where this just kind of feels, like I said, like someone printed a card that's so overpowered, and instead of just hitting the delete button, they're like, well, let's just slap on something that's going to make it not as strong. But so I guess I personally just don't get it yet. It might just be something.
Well, let me ask you this real quick. What actions that we currently play that isn't Steel Song can delete Iago?
I don't know. I don't even care to think about it. I'm just like, why?
Well, you got to think about it, right? Because Vanish is in the game, and that is a mechanic that we have to now think about that will be relevant in the game. Maybe, who knows? But of the actions that we're currently playing in each deck right now does not even remotely remove Iago.
Yeah.
Unless you're thinking about, like, for example, Red has teeth and ambitions.
So is it just like too strong then? Because there's not enough actions.
I think it's very strong because you had to facilitate. You would have
So
to
is this
facilitate.
dangerous? Are we going
I feel like
into
it is a
dangerous
little
territory?
dangerous, just because the actions that we currently have don't necessarily remove Iago very well. Like I said, the only cards that I can think of that does remove Iago are the minusing attack and plussing of the attack, which I believe green and yellow only has.
I mean, you have steel cards.
And blue, sure,
Steel cards.
sure.
Well, okay. Unless anyone else has anything specifically on Vanish, I think we'll just have to see. Again, we only have one card as an example.
That is true. That is true.
We don't have like
Just real quick, just because I thought of this right now,
Yeah.
I really feel like they're going to come out with something that makes Vanish stronger for the player playing Vanish. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like because it's an illusion, right? It's like when you vanish, you could reappear, right? Maybe there's something that says for every card that was vanished this turn, maybe there's like a crazy action that's like bring back the characters that got vanished or something.
Could be
Like that.
some. Magic has exile, but that is a completely different thing. I think Vanish specifically says Vanish, so that goes to your Vanish. So it'd be like them creating a character card like Lilo that has Vanish.
Right.
So like, it can be thrown into your grave, but it can also be brought back pretty easily.
Yeah.
So it's like, so the Vanish isn't as much of a hindrance to it. If they maybe they come out with a lot more actions that do what you're saying.
So real quick, do you guys feel like Vanish is good?
Yeah, I think Vanish is actually.
You feel like it's an advantage?
I think it's an advantage for sure.
There's two people here at the
Yeah.
current moment that agree that Vanish
I think it's an
is probably
advantage
good.
versus it is. Yeah.
Honestly.
It's a good mechanic, or it's good for the game.
No, a good
No,
mechanic
I
to
think-
play.
Good
I
mechanic.
think it's an upside. It's not a downside.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Because it becomes more of a like thing you have to get rid of.
like
Well,
the-
that's more
yeah,
so of
yeah,
the
yeah,
that's more so
exactly.
the card, not the mechanic. The mechanic itself sucks.
No,
I
that's
mean,
what I'm
like it's
saying,
targeted
like-
by any action ever and it vanishes. But you're saying the result of you're saying the reasoning why a card would have the vanish mechanic, it makes it good.
Yes. I wasn't even actually talking about Iago specifically. Like Iago can just whatever. I just feel like the fact that you have to use one of your resources that could have gotten something else, like strength, right? Are you really gonna waste strength on Iago when you could have just strength Sisu? But you have to because that he's 4/6.
So a strength with only one character on board becomes useful in some way.
Right, but you have to waste it on Iago. You know what I'm saying? And then right?
But your opponent
That's
wasted
the
their
whole
turn
point.
4 to play Iago, like.
So, well, let's move on to
Yeah.
the actual color combination aspect. So we've had a few more cards revealed of this. Now we want to go over more generally speaking as far as how do we think this mechanic is going to play out. There's a lot of speculation, and Zan came out with a podcast recently saying, and he made a good point that the rules of Lorcana are that you are limited to 2 colors per deck, and so if you were able to, let's say. There's a Bell card that's red blue, right? It's
Yeah.
a Bell.
Mhm.
Like if some people are speculating, well, that just means that you could play that card in any red or any blue deck. So
Yeah.
it could be ruby, amber, it doesn't matter, and you can play that in there.
Right.
But I don't think that I don't think that's the case, but I also don't think that should be the case. In my personal opinion, I think you should be limited to those two colors. If you want to play that card, I think it adds a little more strategy, and if a card's really that good, that you find builds around that. So I want to get an opinion from each of you. One, how do you think it's going to work? Just what and why? And then what do you hope like the actual ruling is behind it?
Sure.
So you could start that off, Abe, if you want to.
Sure. So originally I thought it may be like, okay, it's a red-blue card, you can use it in any red-blue deck, right? Justin did mention that like the kind of rules do officially say you can only use 2 colors, so it makes sense that they would most likely lock this down. So like a red-blue card is to be used in a red-blue deck. And I like the idea. I think it's good. I think maybe this will start making people use different types of decks, right? Different color types. Maybe green, red gets some busted card that says something along the lines of like "Be prepared" or something, or maybe not "Be prepared" because maybe "Be prepared," right? Or Ruby, Amber, Mufasa gets a card like red. Ruby Amber gets a card that draws 3 or something, like a friend on the other side for Ruby Amber, because that's the biggest like gripe for Ruby Amber is like you can't draw anything unless it's Rapunzel. You're only drawing. This guy's like.
The moment you mentioned Ruby Amber, he was so excited, man.
Yeah, no, I think it's gonna do good. I think if they create cards that for like Blurple needs maybe better removal because all they have really is Hades, right? So like if they make these color combos that force us to use different decks, I like the idea a lot. So maybe Amber Sapphire gets some busted card, right? That
Sure.
use that deck, that card. Sure. I like the idea a lot. I think it's good for the game. So.
And, do you think it's going to be where you're limited to the 2 colors?
After thinking about it and like reading the official rules, it does say that you can only use 2 colors in a deck, right?
So technically add a third.
Technically, it'll be a third. So I do think that they will lock these down to just the 2 decks, yeah, or the 2 colors per deck. Yeah.
What do you think, John?
It's tough to say. I feel like it can go both either or. I don't know how Ravensburger, holy crap, would ever implement a dual color card that can be implemented, for example, like the beast that's red-blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you could ever fit that beast specifically. I don't know. I'm just going to throw out a color like blue steel, right? How are you going to fit that? Because that's now a tri-color deck.
Yeah.
So I feel like it is going to be color locked to the specific color combination that it is printed on. I hope that they don't ever expand it to, you can play it in either red or blue, because if they do print out extremely strong effects on certain cards that are dual colored, that can be extremely dangerous. I feel like that could be also volatile for the game. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, if it is color locked to what they're printed on, then I believe it's very healthy. If it isn't, then I feel like they're going to really push how power creep is going to be going on into this game.
Sure. Okay. Justin, what do you think? Again, what's your speculation? How do you think it's going to work, and how would you prefer it to work?
I think it is color locked. This is all just copium, honestly. And what I want from this color lock mechanic, I guess, dual color,
man.
Is like I want
an Amber Steel card that banishes Ice Block.
That's all he wants.
That's what the deck.
That's all he wants for Christmas.
Ice Block from the deck.
All the deck. The card text is banish Ice Block.
Banish an item from the deck.
Yeah, right. Play this card, banish Ice Block from the tournament.
No, I want what I want from this is that I want Amber Sapphire to get a B prep version. So Amber and Sapphire, they have this thing where it's like they manipulate like the stats of the card, and we have is it World's Greatest Criminal Mind?
Yes.
Right. So that card. So it could be a world where this. I was telling them this week where it's it's +3 to the entire board, or just your opponent's board for a turn. It's +3, but you actually. It's +3, but you actually
Are you good? A light turns off. Literally,
my light bulb also
the light
died.
turns off, and your light bulb.
My
turns
light
off.
also
literally.
died.
He was like, I had the.
He goes frame black. Oh, never mind.
So back to what I was saying before the light went off. It's
Literally.
plus 3
Figuratively.
to the entire board. The entire board on your opponent's side, and then anyone that has like 6 strength or higher, just
5 strength.
I want to say 6 because that's kind of fair. It's plus 3 to everyone on your opponent's side, and then everyone that's 6 or up gets banished.
Sounds busted. That sounds busted.
No,
For the C.
no, because you can't reach the 2 attackers. You can only reach the 3 plus.
Sure.
So you think that's too broken? Okay, I'm just saying. No. I'm just saying like Amber Sapphire. If Amber Sapphire gets something like that, like a B prep version, then I think it's fair. And
Amber Sapphire really needs it, man.
right?
They need something,
but you can't
dude.
use it in Amber Steel, right?
They
That's
need
the
something.
craziest part. Is like you can't use it in Amber Steel, and you can't use it in Red Blue as well. So that's why it's supposed to be color locked, and I feel like it's supposed to help decks like Amber Sapphire, who doesn't have a B prep and print cards like that. I feel like it's the same for like I don't know, Blurple, Green, Blue, something like that. I feel like they definitely need the help 100%, because if you're not playing Steel or Red, you're not in a good spot like long term. Like you need to either be aggro or like discard. You're stuck to those 2 things. If you don't have like a mass removal, you know what I'm saying? Or like I guess Blurple's exception there, but they have some kind of removal. That's what I think at least.
Okay. To finish this question off, I want to say the new dual color cards will have an extreme impact on the game and deck building. I want to get an answer from all of you, from anywhere from strongly agree to strongly disagree. So like strongly agree, in the middle,
Somewhat.
disagree, strongly disagree. Like out of those 5 options, so basically again, the dual color cards will have a strong impact or an extreme impact on the game when they come out. What do you think, from strongly agree to strongly disagree?
Somewhat.
Okay, so in the middle.
Correct.
Okay, what's your reason? Quick reason.
Quick reason? Okay. Cards are color locked. Certain cards are color locked, which means you're only stuck to that color combination. If the effects are good, then I would bump it up to somewhat agree over just somewhat.
Yeah.
If not, then it's just irrelevant. Then it's just another like locations they showed up and then just passed by afterwards.
Okay. Hey, what do you think, from strongly agree, strongly disagree, and why?
I'll go like in the middle, agree. And the reason why is, from what we've seen, what have we seen? 4 color locked cards so far.
Yes.
None of them have like blown me away. I think the Belle is the best we've seen because she can almost instantly lure for 6, which is pretty strong.
That is pretty cool.
And there's other bells that are decent to shift on. So that one to me seems pretty strong. I do think that we're going to see some really. I'm hoping that we at least see some really good color lock cards that have effects that will impact the game strongly, especially for those color combos that need it. So I'm very optimistic. I hope does impact the game.
So you're on the agree.
I'm gonna say agree.
You're a little above neutral,
Yeah,
but
I'm gonna
not
say-
strongly
I'm
agree.
gonna say
Okay.
agree. Yep.
Justin.
There's already some bias because I saw Lady from Lady the Champ, so I want to say agree. I'm gonna say agree because Lady
loves
is
the
a
lady.
draw 2. Like that card is a draw 2. You like turn like 7 or 8 in that color combination, and you top deck Lady. That's like a lady and then 2 daisies.
I miss Lady.
Like, and it's a 4/4 stats. Like, come on, dude. And then
I miss Lady. She's impressive too. She's not too bad. I still think the
Right.
Belle's the best
I-
of the ones we've seen.
I think Lady's okay,
But yeah, Lady's not
I'm
terrible.
hyping her up. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
sure.
like, Lady is an uninkable 5,
Yeah.
shift 3, green, yellow. Her effect is when you play her, not shift. When you play her, you add 2 characters from the graveyard or the discard that are 2 cost or less.
That's good.
Yeah, she's
She's a draw 2.
That's so
She's dock.
That is so strong.
She is dock. 4/4. 4/4
Dock
quest
is
for
she.
2.
That is actually strong.
4/4 quest for 2 uninkable.
Thank God it's locked to green
That's what I was-
yellow, bro.
Is it though?
Thank
You know what I'm
God,
saying?
thank
A
God.
Amber Seal dock with that.
I hope it is color locked then.
See, something like that to me seems like a fair way to create balance,
Yeah.
as opposed to the vanish mechanic. That
It's all
seems
good,
like
man. I get it.
I see what you're saying.
extreme other end of
I see what you're saying.
right. So
I get it.
not
First
to
you
go
hated
through
my
that again.
Cusco, then you hated my Diablo,
Dude.
and now you're on this. Now you hate on my Vanish.
Johnny hates Vanish.
Bro, he hates Vanish, man. I get it. It's all good.
Neutral.
He is gonna be the first
neutral.
one.
Agree. All right, we're gonna move forward now.
Sure.
Say your thoughts on it. Are you agreeing strongly?
Agree. You somewhat agree.
To be honest, that was an impromptu question. I didn't really think about it.
Yeah, but now you got to think about it.
I'll go with Chiefs to win the Super Bowl 3-peat.
That's crazy. The fact that you just
Shut
said
up, Patty.
Chiefs,
So
man.
let's
Get
go ahead
outta
and
here.
move. Don't do that, please. Don't do that again.
That was you. What the?
Guys, last thing we're gonna go over quickly, but we're in this little like limbo stage of no DLC announcement, no champs announcement, nothing really. So
Off season.
off season. What do we do? You know, like, is it even worth playing the cards we have right now? We're not even gonna be playing unless you're like Zan or Hamza or any of those losers that don't do anything else with their lives. I'm just kidding, obviously, but yeah. So for us normies out here that aren't good enough, what do we do? Like, for me personally in this offseason, I still think it's really, if you enjoy the game, obviously this is a time to go to your set champs and try different decks out and just have fun with it. This is still, I think, a really good time to play test because we've seen it set by set, and even though we got hit with a couple pretty big upcoming changes, getting that practice in and the reps in is still always going to be important. And if it doesn't make as much of an impact as you think, like, you're just that much more prepared for it because you've been getting the reps in and working out that muscle still of playing and making the situational like decisions. So for you, Jonathan, we're gonna go through everyone just in a row, just to quickly end this off here. What's your view on the off season? What should people be doing to keep at it, or what do you specifically like to do in the off season? Do you like to offload by playing another TCG, or do you just enjoy playing different types of decks, or whatever the case is, or just relax and wait till the next thing? What do you like to do, and what are you doing?
So before I started working a lot, I would say, because I am a person of many card games, where if there's an off season of one card game, I used to hop into another card game until the season came back for my main game. All right, but now I've learned, as I obviously grew older as well, I've learned that you should know when to take a break in any card game, honestly, because burnout is a real thing. And eventually, if you consistently keep playing without any type of monetary break, you will burn out, and you will, unfortunately, not hate the game, but you will dislike it because you feel like now it's just a routine instead of you just going to a tournament just to have fun.
Yeah.
It's good to take a break. I would say still enjoy it, still keep up with the Lorcana, either meta or tournaments, but have more fun with it. I would say experiment with other things, experiment with color combinations that you would think that are not good, but then you're like, oh, you know what, this is kind of cool. You don't have to take it seriously. Off season is the perfect time to either play. For example, we love Ursula's Revenge here, or Ursula's Return, the side game that
Illuminator's
they
Quest.
made, Illuminator's Quest. We love that. We love it here, and I think it's the perfect time to be like, you know what? This is the time to join it, play decks that you would never play because these are cards that are just not relevant in the meta.
Yeah.
And so play that, and then honestly, it is okay just to stay home sometimes.
I like to play with Ursula's deck, and she uses one of the decks they gave me in the box.
If
And I
only.
play as Extreme Ursula because that,
That sounds
to
busted.
me, just sounds
Do you
like.
cosplay Ursula too while you're doing that?
Hey, what do you like to do?
Just to kind of piggyback off what he said, I'm a big fan of trying out other card games, honestly. So, if the game gets a little stale because there's no new set, no DLCs, right? We've been talking about playing Digimon for a while, or starting a little Pokemon
We have
league
not.
between the team.
It's not happening, Justin. Anyway.
But no.
Yeah, right.
It's okay, Justin.
Nothing's happened yet, but
We'll hop into One Piece before Digimon. Chill.
just in general, though, like, try something else. If you're bored with the game or it's stale to you, yeah, try something else. Maybe go outside, touch grass.
Wow.
Nerd. But no, like, playing fun
Coming
decks is
from
another
us
thing,
who
right?
just stays in this concrete
Yeah.
toy
4x4.
factory.
Like again, piggybacking off of what Kiro said here. Play new decks, try new things out, right? Not everyone, some people do try new things out, but a lot of people are afraid to try a new deck. They're afraid to take a new deck to set champs or to locals, and it's like, at the end of the day, the game is about having fun, right? We're all competitive and we all want to win, sure, but you also have to have fun. So try new things out. Try some random card that your friend thinks is shit, but you think is decent, and have fun with it. Yeah, but also taking a break. There's nothing wrong with that. If you feel like you're overwhelmed or you've played too much, take a break. Yeah.
Go in a hot tub.
Get in a hot
That's
tub.
always fun.
Hot
Justin,
time
what do you
machine.
think? Are you in? Do you go to different hot tubs? Or are you more of a jacuzzi guy? What do you do in the off season?
He bakes, man.
I feel like now that we've doubled down on Lorcana, I feel like personally I've never doubled down on the TCG before.
That's a lie. That's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh! I've doubled down, but like there wasn't really like an efficient way for me to do it because everyone was kind of like a mixture of casual and competitive.
Yeah.
And I'm like a deck builder guy. I'm not really like a let's sweat it out and play the top decks. I had a phase, but it wasn't like as continuous as I am now. But I feel like in Lorcana, it's only been out for like what, a year and a couple of months.
A year and a couple months.
Yeah, I feel like it's been so fast paced. We've been like spoiled. Like we've had like after when the DLCs got announced, I don't think we've taken any breaks at Lorcana.
No, we never have.
We've played like at least 4 or 5 times a week, and
Yep.
I don't think we've dialed down from that. And I feel like this is the best time since we're getting to that slow time. I feel like we never had a chance to actually explore other like decks in general, right? Like I haven't touched red blue like at all. I hate that deck. I hate that deck.
too.
And I'm terrible at red blue for sure. But I feel like it's time. It's time to just fold and just play red blue. Purple still haven't touched either. Red purple, bro. I have I have a lot of like the
Humble flex
relevant
right now.
cards from set 1 to set 6 foiled out. Not just flexing,
You're
also
definitely just
flexing.
flexing. What are you talking
but
about?
purple is the color that I don't touch.
Wait, you're missing something.
Red,
You're missing Lilo.
You are missing Lilo.
I am missing.
Don't
Lilo.
lie. Stop,
I'm,
stop
also,
lying.
I'm also missing a cookie.
And you're still playing the decks. Oh, that's why you're only playing 3 of. Oh, the whole time.
I'm not playing though. I'm kidding. No.
That is
But,
what he does, by the way. Just letting you know
We
right
call
now.
him Tamatoa.
But I'm just saying, like, this is like we've been so spoiled, and the game was so fast paced that I feel like we can finally like take a breather. Finally, I think.
Yeah. Just to add something, because you brought up some good
Thanks
points.
for adding that, Abe. So we're gonna end this.
No, because I want to ask you guys too. I want to ask you guys because we're talking about burnout, right?
Yeah.
Me personally, and we play a lot of Lorcana here. We almost play every night. We almost play every single
Absolutely.
night. I am not even close to being burnt out of Lorcana.
No, neither.
That's one thing I
Neither.
want to say. Like, we play almost every single night. We go to every single challenge. We go to all the set champs, and I'm not even close to being burnt out. 6 sets in, right? We're 6 sets in.
6 sets.
Yeah. So I just want to see like what your guys' opinion is, and obviously if you guys that are watching, like, tell us what you guys do in the off season if you are burnt out or not, because I'd be curious to know. But me as a player and a store owner, I am not burnt out one bit on Lorcana.
Yeah, you're always excited to play.
Super excited. You can come at me at any time of the day, and if I can, I'll drop whatever I'm doing to get a Lorcana match in. So, what do you guys? Are you guys burnt out at all? Like,
No, I'm not. I'm not. At the moment.
You made it sound like you were right there.
No, I wasn't.
Why was that so fake?
Why was
man?
that
No. No, I'm not burnt out. But if you remember from the beginning, my mind's kind. I don't have anybody. So like once I get like locked up, like,
what you mean by that?
I don't have anybody at the
Okay,
moment.
well-
When that happens, then who
well-
knows where I'll be.
That's fair. Me, on the other hand, I
I'm
feel-
single, by the way. If anyone's if anyone knows of any Latino
Ray,
movies
we
that
know right now that you
are also looking for someone. But
shout out to my boy Ray Ray. Anyways, me personally, I don't think I've ever been burnt out for this game, just because again I work so often. I work 7 days a week. I do have my significant other as well. I have to. Not that I have to. I want to spend time with her.
oh yeah,
Shout out, Bella.
Shout out to Bella.
Shout out,
absolutely.
shout out.
And
Hey,
that's the best thing.
represent.
That's the best thing about it too, is that she also plays as well. So every now and then she's like, "Hey, do you want to play?" I go, "Absolutely." When we bring my stuff, we'll settle down. We'll talk about how we can improve. Because she doesn't play as competitive. She's more on the casual side, but she wants to get better.
Yeah.
So I sit down with her. We try our best. I try my best to explain to her as much as I can how to make her better. And honestly, as of right now, this is the most time I've spent with these guys within like the last month, and I'm always excited. They're like, "Hey, you trying to play some more con?" I'm like, "Absolutely. Let me know when so I can put that in my schedule." But I haven't been burnt out so far. So
We're gonna end this stream and then play Lorcana literally 100%
that's
for
literally
like
what's
3
happening.
hours.
No, yeah, I'm definitely not burnt out, man. I have way too many things to like brush off with this game. Like, I am not at the level where I want to be. Honestly, I want a golden Mickey. I want that Rose invite. Like,
Let's go.
like we're trying to be like the Lorcana guys. Like, honestly, like that's the goal for me at least.
For all of us.
For all of us,
Absolutely,
yeah.
yeah.
But personally, that is my goal. Like, no diss, obviously, but like with or without you guys, I want to be right there with what I'm saying on the
That's what low
top.
key does.
I'm gonna be by your side no matter what.
Yeah, now.
Did
I'm
you
gonna
hear
add
that?
this
That he said off to the
also.
side. He's like with or without you guys, probably without you guys. But like,
Most likely by myself.
Oof.
That's true, and exactly that's why I'm not there yet, because I've not day 2 to DLC, and I've been close a couple of times, but that's not an excuse, man. Like you got to get there. Like you have to be consistent, and you have to get there. That's what it takes for you to be a champion, I guess. But yeah,
Absolutely.
a lot of work to be done for sure.
Absolutely. So that was a lot there. Just to recap again, we went over just set champs, how we've been doing, just how we feel about the color combination stuff and the vanish mechanic, and then just like what you can be doing in your off season. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, comment. We're always open to topic suggestions and things. So if there's anything you want to hear us talk about, please let us know. It helps out a lot. I don't know if I said subscribe. Please subscribe. That'd be great. And with that being said, hit the notification bell to know whenever we come
Do
out
all
with
of
a
that.
Clubhouse or a back seat. What's
we
the
need to-
difference?
we need to
Maybe
use-
we'll come out with a video about what the difference between a Clubhouse and a back seat.
I'm
video is.
dying to know.
So with that being said, hey, keep testing, y'all, because we'll be play testing, and we'll see you on the next one. Deuces, y'all.
Peace. Put that down. You lost.
Bro, you don't even deserve that, bro. You give games away. That means you're gonna give the ball away.